This is your Mercury Retrograde Horoscope in detail. This is going to be like an all-sign horoscope, and I did like a case study kind of thing. That's like what it reminds me of. Is like I went day by day and looked at all of the transits that Mercury makes during the retrograde and when Mercury catches back up with each of those planets later in the year. So we begin Mercury retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is a very mystical sign. And so that's really important to understand about this Mercury retrograde is it's in Pisces, and Pisces is very watery, very emotional, very sensitive, right? It happens on the 25th of February is when it begins. Mercury retrograde begins on the 25th of February, and the first planet on the 27th that it goes conjunct with is Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, beauty, and art, right? Venus represents feelings, and Mercury is about thoughts. And so this is a time where you may have to act on feeling, or there's like a softer tone to your thoughts, and you're really acting on feelings, you're really acting on emotion at this time. On the 6th of March, Mercury retrogrades into a conjunction with the Sun, and the Sun represents our ego. It is what we chase after in life. And this is a time where it's like you're moving without thought is kind of the energy. And so during this transit, it's like first you're feeling things. There's a softer tone of things. And then you start to move on your ego. You start to move like with action, right? Mercury then retrogrades into Mars. And this brings confusion in what you're doing. And this is a good time on the 14th of March to ask yourself, like, what is motivating you in a situation? What is motivating you through this Mercury retrograde at this time? On the 16th, it becomes conjunct with the moon, again in Pisces, and this is a sensitive time. Allow yourself to think outside of your own needs. So when we talk about the moon, right, the moon represents empathy. The moon connects to our emotions. And so this is just a time where you may have to think about other people. The moon also connects to like mass groups of people in general. And so this is a time, March 16th, where you may be thinking about like outside of yourself. You may be forced to think outside of yourself. And there's going to be a part 2 to this video because it's getting kind of long, where I talk about when the planets meet back up together again in the future.